Get excited, get excited, get excited, get excited. We're back, we back at it again. This is our Beauty Over 40 collab for the month of May. Get excited. We are celebrating Memorial Day with our red, white, and blue look. Get excited.
Thank you, Fashion and Beauty, for that intro, because I really am excited about doing this Beauty Over 40 red, white, and blue Memorial Day collaboration with you and the rest of these lovely ladies. Now, in my defense, I did not know it was supposed to be red, white, and blue. I did my look based on the U.S. Army combat fatigues in honor of my mom, my uncles, and other family members who served their country as members of the U.S. military and are no longer here with us. So if you want to see how I came up with my look, you already know what you got to do. But before we even get into that, if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button? Turn on the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my future uploads. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Y'all, if you've been here before, you already know how I do. I take light foundation. In this case, it is Sknydip Cosmetics Baked and Villa. I mixed the two of them. This is a black-owned makeup brand. I discovered them when Ashley Martinez did a review of them on Instagram. They make yellow-based foundations for dark skin. I fell in love. So I'm taking the Villa and the Baked mixed, and I'm using that to highlight the center of my face. Next, I'm taking Moon Dust Island and Sahara's Rose, and I'm going to put that around the perimeter of my face. I use a light and dark foundation because I don't like to go over with a layer of foundation and then put a layer of concealer over that. It's just one layer of foundation, and then I put powder, even though it's two different colors. I'm setting the highlighted areas first with the Black Opal True Colors Soft Velvet Finishing Powder in medium. And don't worry, all the products will be down in the description bar, as well as the links to the other ladies' channels and their Instagrams. Don't worry, it'll be there. Next, over that, I'm going to take the Sacha Cosmetics Buttercup Setting Powder to lighten that up a little bit, because you know if you go right in with Sacha, it tends to be too light. Next, I'm going in with the Black Opal True Colors Soft Velvet Finishing Powder in dark, and I'm going to put that around the perimeter of my face to set the dark foundation that I put around the perimeter. And the way the video is sped up, it may look like I'm just patting that on, but I'm not. I'm actually pressing that in. And here I'm contouring my cheeks with the Sacha Cosmetics Matte Brown Blush. This is so pigmented, you just barely need a little bit and it'll get the job done. So I'm taking that on an angled blush brush and just doing both sides of my face and carrying it up a little bit toward my temple to kind of thin down my face a little bit. I'm also going to take it under the jawline and along the side of the nose to under the chin to get rid of at least one of those extra chins, and then the final step to thin my nose down a little bit. I don't mind a Georgia bell pepper, but I'd rather it looks more like a jalapeno. And then, because I hate washing brushes, I'm going to take the top or the front, however you want to look at it, and go into Magnolia Makeup's Penny Illuminator and dust that along the very top of my cheekbones. Also going in with that same illuminator and dusting across my cupid's bow, the tip of my nose, and right in between my eyes on the bridge of my nose to bring light to the area and kind of bring those areas forward so that my nose doesn't look quite as flat as it really is. And now going in with that same brush, I'm going to put the Terracotta blush from Magnolia Makeup and put that right in between the two, because if I've done it right, I've created a perfect roadmap of where my blush needs to go, and then I blend that whole area in really well. And now to get into the eyes. Because I have hooded eyes, I always have to go in first and kind of create a hood for myself. So how I do that is I put a dark eyeshadow, whatever transition color I'm using. And if I'm going dark, trying to do a cut crease, I'll start with the darkest color. I put it on one side of a flat shader brush. I point the eyeshadow upward and I press the brush right into my crease. And if you look fairly closely, when I push the brush in, you'll see where the crease of my eye actually is behind that flap of skin. And I just create the crease with that dark color on one side, with eyeshadow on one side of a flat shader brush. And then right above that dark brown that I just used, and this, I'm getting this from the Morphe 3502 palette. I'm taking a reddish brown, which is more red than brown, and going right above that dark brown that I put in directly into the crease. Now on a small bullet brush, I'm taking another reddish brown that is closer to brown than red, and I'm taking it directly in between those two, because if you look before, you could see where there was a line of red and a line of dark brown, and with the color I'm using now, which is right in between the two, I'm taking it on a bullet brush and running it on that border. And then I'm taking a blending brush with no product on it and blending out the edges so that there aren't any more harsh lines. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that this is a step that I very rarely do, meaning I'm taking the e.l.f. eyeshadow base and I am actually cutting the crease with a different product. Ordinarily, I use Juvia's Place or other very pigmented eyeshadow palettes, and I don't need to do this step. But because I wasn't sure how this sleek palette was going to react, I made sure that I put down a base. So I'm going in with the sleek Ultra Matte Volume 2 palette, and the first color I'm putting down is this sort of beige tan color. And while I am going to try to approximate and do the same thing on each eye, I don't want it to be exact because it's supposed to be mirroring the camouflage fatigues and not be an exact mirror image of each other. So they'll be close but a little off, mirroring the camouflage pattern in the fatigues. So I'm just dotting on that beige color. And then you'll see me go in and do the same thing. The dots will be kind of close but not exact on each eye. So here I'm going in with the dark brown. After the dark brown, I'm going to go in with that really dark green in that same palette. And then finally I'll go in with black. And then to give the cut crease just a little bit more definition without it actually being that harsh cut crease that you usually go for, I'm going to go in with this really thin brush here and the black from that same sleek palette and just run it along the border where the transition and the eyelid meet. And I'm going to blend that out so it is not obvious that I went in with black and just created that line. I went in with CoverGirl Queen Collection dark green eyeliner and I tight lined the top and bottom waterline. And to set that and smudge it out a little bit, I'm taking the dark brown from that sleek palette and just running that along, right along the lashes on the bottom lash line. And for me, I really don't think any eye look for me is complete without going in and doing a tear duct highlight. So here I'm taking the white from that same sleek palette and I'm just dotting that on the inner tear duct. And blending out that blush a little bit more. And we've seen mascara. We all know how to put mascara on top and bottom lashes. And I didn't put a lot on the top because I'm going to go in with falsies. And because I don't particularly care for setting sprays, I haven't found one that I really like yet. I'm going to take a pressed powder. I think this is the Estee Lauder one in Rich Mahogany. And I'm just going to apply that over the face first, swap the brush in one more time, and then really swirl that and set and buff all the makeup in place. I go over everything, blush, highlight, contour, everything, and buff it all in with a powder. And now on to the lips. I typically line my lips with a liquid lipstick because I found that it blends into the inner part lipstick better, and it tends to last all day because you know once a matte liquid lipstick dries down, it is on. So here I'm taking Sexy liquid matte lipstick from Teacup Cosmetics and I am lining the perimeter of my lips. Once I've done that, I'm going to go in with a second color on the inside. This is Flirt, also from Teacup Cosmetics, and I thought I was using the beige nude instead of the pinky nude. That's why I looked at it. I knocked my iPad off the tripod, and I discovered that just by moving the camera moving it from here and moving it up like this, I get a much better view, or the lighting is much better. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I can put it up, like angle it up like this, so that you can actually see better. So this is where we are so far. I'm going to come back with lashes on, and then I will finish my eyebrows, and that'll be the final look. And I am not the one for the drawn on Instagram brow look. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like it. So what I do is I groom my brows for the most part in the shape that I want, and then I extend the tails with a pencil and brush it in with a spoolie, and then I draw a line at the beginning of the brow and blend that upwards into, see that thin line, and blend that upwards into the head of the brow, and that's about as sleek as you will ever see my eyebrows get. This is all I'm gonna do right here. And here's my final look. It's based on the combat fatigues of the United States Army, and is dedicated to the memory of all the men and women who served their country as soldiers and are no longer here. As always, I thank you so much for watching. Now, if you made it this far, I guess you halfway sort of like what you saw. Why not go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and make sure that you check the description box for the links to the other ladies' videos, as well as their Instagram pages. See you in my next video.